Hey guys, it's Pete, and we are live on the road, driving out to San Antonio, Texas. Just left the Western Southern Open with my buddy Matt Bradshaw from Coffee Break Tennis and Crunch Time Coaching. By the way, I talked to Matt today, or we texted, and he's going to have an amazing quick sip. He's going to have an amazing quick sip tonight. He got some good interviews today, so be definitely checking in to that. But I just wanted to check in with you guys and just talk to you about how awesome tennis is and all the cool places it can bring you and the people you meet. And it's just been a great week, one of the best weeks I've had in a long time, and I gotta thank tennis. Gotta thank tennis for everything. Going to watch the tennis, one thing that was really hit home to me, when you are at home and you watch a tournament and if your favorite player's not playing, like Roger Federer for so many people, you have a couple of people are out. There were so many people out of the Cincinnati tournament, so we thought, this isn't going to be very fun, very interesting. But when you go watch these players live, it is special. Like, they are all so talented. Like, every single one, when you see them hit a tennis ball, hey, how's it going, Jalen? When you see them hit a tennis ball, you're thinking, how can you possibly hit a ball better than that? So that was one takeaway. It was just amazing to see all these players hitting the ball. And then probably the coolest part of the week was going into all the press conferences. When I first got there and Matt was talking about this dream of interviewing Roger Federer, I thought, well, there's no way we're going to get to interview Roger Federer or any of these pros. We're going to go in the press room and there's going to be ESPN and Tennis Channel's going to be there and the room's going to be full and we're not even going to be called on. And then we go into these press conferences, and Matt and I are literally sitting in the front row. I wish we could show you guys the video. We're playing a lot of audio because the ATP doesn't let you show the video. But Matt and I are literally sitting in the front row, and the room many times is fairly empty and not even a quarter full. And so we get to ask people like Rafa Nadal questions and Nick Kyrgios, and we interviewed Sloane Stephens and Sloane Stephens' coach, Madison Keys, Venus Williams. It was just awesome. And I was, as I'm driving, I'm on my way here, I'll just show you guys on the road. Driving to San Antonio, Texas. Got a funny story about that. But as I'm driving, I'm just so thankful and appreciative of all the cool places that tennis can bring you, and there was also so many people that Matt and I met on the trip that follow us online, which is really cool. That's another thing, tennis and online. It's so neat, how you can connect.
Prepare to exit the highway in 2 miles.
Got to exit the highway in 2 miles, but all the cool people you can meet through tennis. So I just wanted to check in with you guys and just let you know how awesome I think everybody is out there who follows us, and how much we appreciate everybody, and how much Matt and I love tennis and being part of the great sport, and so proud of our athletes too. Kyrgios is playing some very good tennis. Yeah, Kyrgios, and that's another thing, guys. I know people bag on Kyrgios. I don't know where you stand on Kyrgios, but watching him play Rafa last night, first of all, he's a lot of fun to watch. No matter what you think of Kyrgios and his personality, he's very fun to watch. And he's got so much talent. And in the press conference last night, he was very funny. He was very nice. He was very self-deprecating, like kind of admitting, like, I really got to get to the next level and stop tanking these matches. Because when I play people like Rafa...
In half a mile, exit the highway at exit 467B.
All right, I got to focus on this. But he was saying, yeah, he knows he's got to cut out, these tanking jobs that he does against people who are maybe not as talented as him and Rafa and Federer, that's like his main problem.
Exit the highway.
That's his main problem. And he doesn't quite know how to fix it. He says once he figures out how to fix that, then he knows he's going to be a much better player, but he doesn't even know really why he does it, which was kind of interesting. But I thought he was really cool, and some of the people kept wanting to go to his habit of tanking and ask him kind of what's wrong with him, and I kind of felt bad for him. It's like can you imagine every press conference you go into, people have to ask you why you're a tanker and why you do this, and you can see that has inner battles with it, and he just seems like he seems pretty cool.
125 miles.
Okay, now we're on this for 125 miles. So why am I driving 125 miles? I saw this, I'm speaking at a USPTA conference, and the guy's email shows that his club is in Dallas, Texas. Who do you think is the favorite to win the US Open title? That's a good one. Obviously, it all depends on how well Federer is feeling. If Federer can come back, Matt's still at the tournament, so he's going to have a really cool quick sip tonight, guys. Matt's told me about one interview he had, and it's really, really funny, and it's going to be great, so you guys have to tune in to Quick Sips. I think it's going to be the funniest quick sip of the week. Typically, Matt is also by himself, so he can kind of go like crazy Matt style on his quick sip. But Matt is still at the tournament. He'll be there for the final. I'm in Texas. I'm driving to a USPTA convention. USPTA, it's basically tennis coaches, and I'm going to be giving speeches on YouTube, some of my tips I've done on YouTube, and also kind of marketing out there for tennis. I forgot where I was. I think I was talking about Kyrgios. Anyway, I just think he's a really cool guy. But I got 125 miles to go, so I just wanted to check in, say hello. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Watch Quick Sips tonight with Matt. And who do I think is going to win the US Open was a question. So I think that all depends on how healthy Federer is. I think if Federer, even if he plays, yeah, you were talking about Kyrgios and being asked about tanking. Yeah, okay. I think we should all lay off Kyrgios for a little while. I think he's got inner battles. He's the first one to admit it. He's still a kid. You know, when these guys become stars, we always think of them as like big, and big equals maybe they should be mature and adults. This guy's just still a kid, and he's out there trying to figure things out. He's got a lot of talent, and sometimes he doesn't know what to do with it all, and I think he feels guilty that sometimes he doesn't get motivated. He's not as hungry as people like Rafa and Roger. But overall, he seems like a nice guy. He was super nice to everybody in the press conference, and I really like him. Back to the US Open. If Roger feels really good, he's clearly playing the best out of anybody when he feels healthy, and he's so great on that surface. Do I think Serena Williams will reach #1 in 2018? Serena, that's going to be so hard. That's so hard to predict. If Serena can come back healthy and she's hungry, I think she'll be #1. But that's a long way off. Let's just let her, enjoy being a mom for a little while and see if she wants to come back. She certainly doesn't owe the sport anymore. It's pretty amazing that Venus is still going at age 37. She still seems really hungry. Got to interview her at the Western Southern Open. If Federer's not healthy, the US Open's wide open, because you just don't know who's going to step up. Rafa, of course, he's the veteran. He knows how to win. He's playing the really great tennis again, just like Roger. He's going to be #1 in the world, which, he's so proud of that achievement. He mentioned that a couple of times. People were asking about it. And you can tell that he's just so proud of himself, everything that he's gone through to be back on top. He feels really, really proud of himself. And I feel really proud of him, as a fan. I just thought, wow, it's just so cool to think about, how people have written Roger and Rafa off so many times, and they just keep coming back. Federer has been the best player of the year. Nadal's been the second best player of the year. But after the French Open, obviously now Nadal has struggled. He's gone to the grass, didn't do great there, and now he hasn't done well on 2 hard-court tournaments. So he's got to be wondering, you know, how he's going to do at the U.S. Open. That being said, last night in the press conference with Rafa, he mentioned that he's number 1, he's super proud of it, and now he's got to back it up. He really did talk about that. He's like, now that I'm number 1, you know, I have to go into the biggest tournament of the year, the last big tournament of the year, and I have to show everybody why I'm number 1. He didn't say it quite like that. He said it a lot more diplomatically, a lot more like Rafa would typically say things. But essentially, what he was saying, I want to show everybody that I've worked hard to become number 1 and why I'm number 1. So he's going to fight as hard as he can. Now, Zverev. Andrew's asking about Zverev. That's another one who could win this tournament. You know, I think if Rafa gets deep in the tournament, he starts to get used to his feelings. He always talks about playing with the right feelings, playing with the right intensity. If he can get that, then you got the experience. He knows how to win majors. Yeah, I love that kid. Anyway, let me keep going with this though. Zverev, if he can get his energy back, he's very tired after winning DC and then beating in Canada. He was almost ready to lose to Tiafoe. But if he can re-energize and keep his confidence up, watching this kid, I got to watch him literally I'm sitting right on the court almost, watching him. And just his and the way he strikes the ball and how flat he hits it and all the shots he has and just the he's got like this, and he was dead tired. I saw him at his, and I was still super impressed because he was tired. You could see him fighting mentally if he wanted to, even to win, but he certainly didn't want to give up the rank. But you could see the inner battle going on in his head. But just the way he killed himself for his age, you could tell he's a champion. He's gonna win a Grand Slam at some point. And again, going into the U.S. Open, there's a lot of people. I think Federer will be 100% U.S. Open. I have no idea. But there's a lot of people who have to be feeling really good because Djokovic isn't playing. Wawrinka's not playing. Murray is a big question mark. Is he even going to play? I mean, I would think he's got to be questionable to play. So it's basically like, and then whoever wants it. And whoever wants it most and hits the right shots at the right time can get it. So who are the players? Who do you guys think? Who are some of the players that you guys think can win this U.S. Open? I certainly think Nadal's on the list. He's number 1. He knows how to win, and he really wants to do well. Zverev, that's another one. Kyrgios has the talent to win, but can he do it for 2 weeks without going mental? Even when he got up, he was going to serve for the match at 5-4. He played flawless yesterday against Nadal until he was getting ready to serve for it. And then he did lose that one game, and then he regained it. But on the changeover, getting ready to serve for the match, he started to go off something where, like, why is he arguing with the umpire? I don't even know why he's upset. So he still has this self-destructive habit, but he certainly has the talent to go all the way. And I don't know if you guys remember, but mid-season, right after the Australian Open, before the French, Kyrgios had some great weeks where he almost beat Federer. He destroyed Zverev. He made it look easy. He destroyed Djokovic. Last night I saw him dismantle Nadal. You know, when you add that other set in there, 3 out of 5 in 2 weeks, I don't think so. Do you think U.S. Open will be faster like it was a year ago? Well, I know Rafa's certainly hoping it, because after he lost to Kyrgios last night, he was complaining about the balls in the press conference. He was saying that the balls were too light. Kyrgios has been injured as of late, but he looks good right now. That's what I'm saying. I think Kyrgios is really trying to get himself, if he's healthy, he's trying to get himself, okay, done with tanking. I want to play for the big matches. I admit tanking's a problem, so if he can really just get over that, I think he can win. Who will end up number one? That's going to come down to, if Federer is healthy, I think he will be number one at the end, because you got the hard court season, you got indoor, and Federer plays better on that surface than Nadal. If he's not healthy and Nadal gets to finish out the season healthy, he will do it, because again, both of them have a ton of points to defend, and they've had a great year. So it's either going to be Federer or Nadal, which is really cool. Have them both. That would obviously be exciting if Federer finished number one. Indoors, Federer's best surface, absolutely. He can hit through the court, the ball stays low. Who's my all-time favorite tennis player? That's a great question. When I was growing up, it was McEnroe, and I loved to even try and play like McEnroe growing up. I have a great McEnroe impression, by the way, hitting the ball. I should do it one time on a YouTube video. But I got to meet McEnroe. I was a teaching pro for Tony Palafax in New York, Cove, New York. And he told me that McEnroe was coming in to the club and the front row seat to watch him come in and hit, and it was really cool. McEnroe came in and hit with this junior, and he'd rally the ball, then he'd come to the net and do some volleys. And anytime he wanted to stop the rally, he would hit a drop shot that went over the net and then spun back violently into the net. It was really cool. But then playing the kid, he was only 18, he started to yell and drop the F-bomb all over the place. Got to shake his hand when he was saying next to Tony Palafax. I introduced myself, and he was totally a jerk, didn't even really look at my face. What kind of racket do I play with? I play with a Head Prestige. I'm like 10 models behind, but I really like it. I need to start thinking about a new racket. I basically grab whatever racket's there and go out and teach, to be honest. I'm not picky. I teach all the time. I don't really play for myself anymore. My goal is to make you guys better, and I still love to hit the ball, but I'm not really in match mode where I'm thinking, okay, I got to get better and win matches. Not bros. We are not bros. We're good friends, but we're not related. What's my favorite tournament? My favorite tournament is the Cincinnati Open. Even before we got press passes this year, we go there, we do a clinic now for the last couple of years, and I tell everybody, I've been to the US Open, Palm Springs, I've been to, obviously, the Atlanta tournament, I've been to the Sony one in Miami, I've been to one in San Jose, California. I've been to a lot of tournaments, and the best one is definitely Cincinnati, because everybody plays it when they're healthy. Both the men and women play it, and it's got a great feel. It's not overwhelming. It's because it's the fastest surface. It is a faster surface, but I mean, as far as watching it, you just enjoy watching it. Rackets are irrelevant. It's all about the strings. That's true, and I love poly strings. So back to the US Open. Let me know who you guys think. Besides Roger and Rafa, we get that. Everybody wants either Roger or Rafa to win. Who do you think can shock the world? I think Zverev can do it. I think Dimitrov has an outside chance of doing it. I think Kyrgios, believe it or not, outside chance of doing it. As long as he does not lose it mentally, he can do it. I mean, who else is there to challenge these guys? I'm trying to think who else is out there to challenge these guys right now. I mean, Tsonga, I don't think Tsonga will do it. Yeah, no one is taking it from the top four anytime soon. But the top four are not even going to be there. I mean, we don't know if Murray's going to play it. We don't know. Djokovic is definitely not going to play it. Stan's not going to play it. Berdych, yeah, Berdych isn't going to do it. Kyrgios will lose first round. He could lose first round. That's the thing about Kyrgios. He can beat anybody and destroy them, make them look like they don't know how to play. And he's Cilic, maybe. Murray is playing, okay. but we don't know how healthy Murray's playing. Do you think if really great, he would have skipped Cincinnati? Just because Murray's going to show up there doesn't mean he's going to be able to play well. I'm sure he's not thrilled about his match preparation going into the U.S. Open, right? I mean, do you think he's excited to go into the U.S. Open? He hasn't played. He pulled out of Toronto. Someone needs to step up and net game besides Fed. I agree. That's one of the things that Fed says, that he thinks that the tennis players, whoever can do it, has a legit chance. But Fed thinks that one of the things that keeps him on top is he knows how to play the net like successors did. Sampras, right? Edberg, Rafter. He knows how to get to the net and win points, and a lot of these pros don't. Actually, that was the missing link when I saw Zverev play. Zverev lost to Tito because he was dead tired, number one. I can't read that, it's too long and I'm writing. Try and make your comments short, because if you write like a paragraph, I can't read that whole thing. But Zverev does not play well at the net yet. He had several chances to win points against Tiafoe, and he literally popped up the volley, and Tiafoe would come on in. By the way, Tiafoe was great to watch. What do I think of court coaching at the U.S. Open? I think it's stupid. I don't like on-court coaching. Fed and Kyrgios bring Zverev to the net as they win. Yeah. I can't think of anybody. Who's another favorite besides Federer, Nadal? I don't think I can think clearly because I'm driving here. Nadal, Federer, Zverev. I'm putting Kyrgios in there. Maybe Dimitrov, he looks good. Like, who else is out there? Like, I can't, this is weird. This is the most watered down U.S. Open I can think of. It's watered down on paper, which is sad for the game in general. What you're saying is very true. It's sad for the game when you look at it on paper, but when you go to the tournaments live, it's so much more exciting live, and the matches are great. Like, even people talk about John Isner being boring, and he can be very boring, but I'll tell you what, that guy can ball. I watched him in Atlanta, and now I watched him here in Cincinnati. I mean, I'll give Isner an outside chance, but I think he's just too tall. I think he can't last 2 weeks. If Grand Slams went to 2 out of 3 sets, Isner could win a Grand Slam because his serve is outrageous, and he's gotten a lot better at tennis. I mean, I'm watching his forehand. That thing's a monster. He's hitting it big. He's got a lot of heavy spin on it too. His backhand's improved so much, and he's getting really good at the net. He's got nice touch around the net. Guys, I want someone else besides who I've said, though. Who am I missing? Cilic maybe. Yeah, Cilic is so boring. Cilic could do it, but I don't think so. He could, though. I guess you'd have to give Cilic as good a chance as Kyrgios and Zverev and those guys I'm talking about. Very unpredictable. Maybe Thiem, right? Dominic Thiem. He's got to be a favorite. Thank you for bringing up Thiem. One thing that was really cool, guys. Ramos, yeah, right. I got to watch Dominic Thiem hit with, so look out for these guys. Upcoming stars, John and Katie McNally. They play at Harper's Point Racket Club, Steve Contardi's club where I do the clinic. Katie's 15. She's already gone to the junior finals of Wimbledon in doubles, and she got into the main draw here, and she's a baller, only 15 years old. And her brother John, I don't think he can go all the way. No, I don't think Shapovalov has a chance of going all the way. No. But John McNally hit with Dominic Thiem and held his own. He's only 18. He lost to Tipsarevic in 3 sets, 7-6 in the third in qualifying. So remember that name, John McNally and Katie McNally, 2 young American hopefuls, and they look very good. how well will I think Zverev is going to play really good at the U.S. Open. I would be very excited for tennis and for Alexander Zverev if he won the U.S. Open this year. If Federer's not feeling great, if the Nadal falls early, like here's who I would like to win. My top 5 hopes for the U.S. Open. I want Federer to win number 1. Now I know this goes against a lot of Federer fans. My next favorite is Nadal. I want Nadal to win. I don't know about Delpo winning. He didn't look the greatest. I don't think he can go 2 weeks and win. He's awesome, but again, he literally cannot hit a topspin backhand. He can only massage that. In the interview, one thing that was cool, he talks about why he still plays and how he keeps coming back. And he talked about how much he loves the game. And he says, even though my wrist hurts. So guys, he's out there literally playing one-handed. He cannot hit a two-hander with confidence. Why has Americans gone so far down? I could talk about that American tennis in a little bit. But Delpo would be cool. Let me get my top 5 people who I want to win. Federer. I want Federer to win. I want Nadal to win. He would be number 2. Next, I would want Alexander Zverev to win. And baseline bots, well, yeah, I guess so. I want, who did I say, Zverev to win? Number 4 would be Dimitrov. I'd like Dimitrov to win. And my 5th choice, I would like Kyrgios to win. American tennis, I have a different theory on that. I don't think we're as hungry for intelligent reasons. Anybody who I've ever seen, most parents who I see who get their kids into tennis, they have a lot of money, okay? It takes a lot of money. They're very intelligent people, and now there's some, and we'll talk about this in a couple minutes too, but in general, most parents who get their kids into tennis, very intelligent, they love the game, they want the best for their kids, and they stress education first. And they kind of, I've seen this a number of times, they kind of stress this to the kids, like, look, I'll support your dreams, you go for it, but we're going to get your education. And when you kind of have that fallback, it's hard to be 100% committed to where, you know, like, it's like burning a bridge. You look back, you can't go back. So the American tennis players don't have that. They have usually a great career to fall back on. 97% of professional tennis players don't make enough money to cover their expenses. So I think tennis is probably the dumbest sport to try and become a pro at, just to be honest. And so a lot of these kids, what they do is they grow up, they learn a lot from tennis. They're amazing tennis players. And then they go into college and they do great in college, and they have great jobs. They end up getting 6-figure jobs and have wonderful careers, and tennis was a great thing for them. And trying to become a professional tennis player is probably not the smartest thing if you're a parent. I think if you're a normal parent, to tell your kid that it's trying to become a professional or bust is not very good parenting. Where other countries, I think they kind of have that mentality. Like Djokovic, he grew up in a war zone, right? I mean, so he saw that as his way out. So I think that's a big part of it. John McNally, he's out there hitting with Dominic Thiem. He's going to play it at Ohio State. I'm thinking, why doesn't this kid try and make it on the tour? He's out there hitting with Thiem. He looks really, really good. He lost to Tipsarevic 7-6 in the third. Why is he not trying to make it on the tour? A lot of our mentality is go to college, which I think overall for a life path is the best decision. To try and make as many pros as we can churn out, I think we need to get more young guys on the tour. I think I think they need to go out on the tour. If they can start hitting with all these pros, they need to keep hitting against them. Taylor Fritz, I love Taylor Fritz, but where has he been? I don't know if he's got a bright future. He's been like missing in action. Why are so many tennis players good at soccer? I think it's like a foreign thing. They love soccer. They grow up with soccer. And that's what they do when they're bored. There's lots of downtimes, right? I mean, there's so many rain delays and things like that, so they have time to kick a ball around and keep themselves busy. When you're around a tournament, you realize there's lots of time where they have to keep themselves busy. Federer couldn't win, yeah. Federer couldn't win that tournament in Canada because of his back, obviously, and the back is a tricky thing. I have my back go out on me a lot, and so the back could be one of those things that just, it can last a week, it can bother you for 6 months, it can never go away. So, and Fed's at that age where we don't know. Have to leave at 1 a.m. UK, good night. Thank you. Thanks that you love our show. Guys, if you're liking this broadcast, give me a thumbs up. What do I think Federer will injury free at the? I don't know if Federer's going to be injury. I don't think Fed knows he's going to be injury free. I think when you hurt your back, you have to really see how those first couple of matches are going to be, and pounding on the cement, right? He's going to be pounding his body on the cement. That's not a good thing for the back. Oh, this picked up 3 likes. Thank you, guys. Federer has to play quick points to win the U.S. Open. Yes, he does, but he's also going to have to play some long points, too. He's going to have to play short points, but you don't go through 2 weeks against all these talented baseliners without having to grind out some points. So Fed's going to have to be healthy to win. Will any of the big 4 be in the top 10 in 3 years? That's a great question. I think, why not? I mean, I even think Federer, if he stays healthy, 4 years, is he going to be around in 4 years? Ooh, you certainly hope so, but it wouldn't really make much sense when you think about it. He'd be 40. Nadal, Nadal could still be there. It's all about injuries, guys, and desire. That's another thing. Nadal says, when I lose my passion to play, I'm going to stop playing. So it's about injuries and desire. So if Djokovic can stay injury-free and has a desire, he can be there. Certainly they can all be there, but I think we are going to see some changing. Did I meet Paul Annacone? I didn't meet Paul Annacone, but Paul Annacone was we got to be in the media room, me and Matt, and he was there. Thank you for my great answer. Yeah, give this a thumbs up if you're liking this live road trip. Let me just show you what we're doing here. Matt, so we're driving on our way to San Antonio. What I did, guys, is I made a ticket to Dallas because I thought I was speaking in Dallas. Picked up 2 more likes. Thank you, guys. I thought I was speaking in Dallas, and then I look at another email chain and realize that